My name is John Watt. I'm incredibly blessed to be married to a wonderful woman named Heidi, and we have 3 beautiful daughters. I was raised in a good Christian home in Westville by a very strict father. I think his strictness probably broke my spirit at a very young age. My family was very intense when I was growing up, and is probably still very intense today. And that doesn't give me very many happy memories of my childhood. I battled through school with a very brave face, just battling to make the grade and to pass. All my dreams and visions of what I wanted to do after school were demolished by me not getting good enough grades. So I left school not knowing what I wanted to do. However, God's grace was on me the whole time, and He never let me rebel. I always felt in my life that I had a big elastic band holding me back. Felt like the elastic was around my shoulders and somebody was always pulling me backwards. In 2010, exhausted and through a number of God incidences, I landed up seeing an adult educational psychologist. The meeting was something that I wasn't keen on doing, and very quickly into the meeting I was diagnosed as severely dyslexic, ADD, and completely burnt out. That was a huge thing for me. I was now in the ranks of Albert Einstein and Richard Branson, but our society doesn't understand dyslexia and doesn't have mechanisms to help people with dyslexia. But it was a huge relief for me at age 42 to now realize what had been holding me back my whole life. I was subsequently tested for my IQ, and that came out a lot higher than I'd ever expected or ever been told it had been in the past. So I now realize that I did have some intelligence, even though my marks hadn't shown me that during my life. The elastic that had been holding me back now all my life was what God was going to use as a catapult to shoot me forward in my life. And that is something I'm experiencing at the moment. I was advised to handle the news and the expectations of dyslexia and ADD as one would handle grief. There was a lot of frustration and a lot of anger, and the psychologist warned me very carefully that this more than likely would lead to a problem in our marriage, that my wife would now see me in a different light. It took me a long time for me to convince her that I had a very strong and incredible wife who would stand by me through the whole way. And once I explained the situation to Heidi, I think she was very relieved to know what had created all this madness in my life. She now understood me better. Today, with dyslexia, when children are diagnosed with dyslexia, they get extra time for exams. They get people who will read the questions to them and explain the questions to them. And even some of them will get a scribe who can write down the answers for them. That certainly would have helped me during my education years. God certainly had His hand on my life. One of the questions I got from the psychologist was, were there any addictions in my life? For example, alcohol or drugs, because that's normally associated with this type of diagnosis, and there was nothing like that at all. So that was something that I was very grateful for, what God had done for me in my life. One of the things that dyslexia meant to me was that I needed to work about 6 times harder than anyone else to achieve the same goal, task that they needed to do. And that is why I was always so exhausted, and that was something I needed to learn and understand. After dealing with this and sharing this with some members of my family, my sister-in-law in Greytown, Nikki, sent me the following scripture. It's from Jeremiah 29:11. I know what I'm doing. I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you, not abandon you. Plans to give you the future you hope for. And that's something I've really had to stick with and read over many times in my life to remind myself where I'm going. I'm now learning and experiencing a newfound freedom in my life and enjoying the discovery and the journey of my life. Life is a journey, it's not a destination. And I will continue to press on towards the goal. They say that it's never too late to have a happy childhood.